In Minecraft, we currently have 23 structures. But what if we had more? More dungeons, more villages, more mineshafts, more ruins, more outposts, more of everything? That's the question we're gonna answer. So allow me to take you on a journey of exploration and diving into the deeper meaning of why structures even exist. We got our first structure already, which is like an end city, but wood and stone. Okay, so Skyward Cities, I think, and enter an overworld city, and I hear villages. I think this is a part of repurposed structures, and it is. Enter an overworld city, Skyward Cities, and this is repurposed structures. Okay, the first structure I found, which was conveniently at spawn, was an overworld city, a pretty clear adaptation of an end city. This structure is a part of the Repurposed Structures mod by Telepathic Grunt, which adds more variants of current structures in the game, such as desert temples, dungeons, and jungle temples, which we'll get to see more of soon. Yeah. With the overhangs, they had little cobblestone pillars. That's pretty nice. And it wasn't long until I found my next few repurposed structures, a spruce witch hut and a spruce jungle temple, before I realized I was muted. Oh, I was muted the entire time. Okay. However, there are two takeaways from this mod's vision of structures, and it's that variants are a great way to spawn a large volume of structures beyond their restricted biome or condition, but it also makes these structures have a weaker identity. If you think about it, we commonly draw biome-structure relationships that compel us to explore certain biomes to find certain structures or items. For example, desert pyramids and desert biomes. So as soon as you see a desert biome, you're going to have the expectation of a desert pyramid spawning there, and hence may have a reason to explore that biome. But if every biome has the potential to spawn any structure, then that sense of anticipation is lost, and that connection is meaningless. Right now, villages are a great example of this variation technique to structure generation, but they're used in a slightly different way, which we'll explore later. Okay. And we got a bridge here as well. Okay, I actually really like bridges. I think they're a really good idea. Rivers, they divide the biomes. There's a lot of empty space. And that empty space, it's been underutilized by Mojang. What is that? It's not a village. What is that? Okay, there's a lot to explore. Oh. Welcome to Dungeons and Taverns. Okay. Safe haven, find a tavern. Call for adventure. Trade with a tavern cartographer to gain access to a quest map. Whoa, okay, a quest map. Okay, I like this already. Can I see the quest map now? Okay, here we go. Okay. Illager Manor, Badlands Miner Outpost. This was my introduction to Dungeons and Taverns by Nova Woistra, which proposed a unique type of cartographer found only in these tavern structures, who sells two maps with the locations of varying structures from the mod. From ruined towns to large citadels, these structures are often more rare than their vanilla counterparts. Mansions, monuments, and trial chambers, with a far greater risk and unique and charming rewards. Alright, I want to get the Illager Manor. Finding this was actually really good, because now I had a final goal, to reach the Illager Manor. Oh, we're far. Oh god, we're far. Okay, it's gonna be one of those. Okay. And with the direction in mind, I started going to the Illager Manor. However, I did want to stop by a couple structures on the way. This shrine being the first. A major trial of strength. Alright. Enter a shrine. Okay, let's see where this is from. It's from Dungeons and Taverns. Okay. And this is the same one where we got the quote-unquote quest map from. The Illager Manor map. Jesus Christ, that hat, bro. That could have easily been a trap. Bro, I genuinely, I cannot be falling for this. I can't be falling for those. Okay. This just seems like a small trial chamber. See, this kind of room, it looks like it's like a testing chamber. Like a trial chamber. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Bunch diamonds. Whoa, wait. It's like a floating dungeon. Okay. find the upgraded monster room. As Apple mentioned, variation can both be a blessing and a curse, and here, Young's Better Dungeons finds that balance. By making dungeons conditional to their environment, such as with the supports and archers of this elevated dungeon, and varied by their monster spawner, each with their own unique builds, the identities of these different types of dungeons are therefore reinforced, where unlike repurposed structures, we don't get a lot of that repetition. I mean, just these smaller improvements to have a monster spawner that's not just embedded in a cave or in the wall, but out here, I kind of like that. When we compare this to modern villages in vanilla Minecraft, their biome affects their block palettes, structure shapes, and villager textures, hence creating an individual identity for each village variant, whilst also allowing for Mojang to use biome-specific villages for other features, which they haven't really been able to fully crack yet. Okay, spiral going up, goes to nothing, spiral going down, goes to something. This is it, bro. This is what we wanted. I can, and I did. Whoa, okay. Whoa! Despite being a small tower from above, this large multi-layered dungeon from Roguelike Dungeons by Greymerk provides a challenge that scales up in difficulty the deeper you go. This was by far the most engaging structure I'd come across so far, but would prove one flaw of most of these large structures. This is definitely trapped. Or not? It's like, oh, it's got like support pillars as well. That's smart. And they look really good as well. Look at that. Oh, these guys look scary. Oh, they do damage. Oh, they do damage. Okay. Sharp 2, that's good. Mending. Oh, mending. Okay. If I'm gonna go to the end and get an elytra, this is staying with me and it is going on the elytra. No questions asked. I will not make the same mistake twice. What did that guy have? Whoa. This way. This was the entrance, so let's go this way. Far out, bro. The one time I don't check the chests, I knew this was coming. Holy, they're still spawning. And it's about here where this flaw comes to fruition. I started out in this dungeon with Protection 1 diamond armor, and ended with a full god set, a shulker box, and enough blaze rods and ender pearls to go to the end. I do have to give credit where credit is due, and appreciate how this dungeon scales up in difficulty, with an equally increasing risk-reward system. However, where a lot of these large structures meet a roadblock is finding a limit to the loot you can get. Despite there often being pressure to match the grandeur of a large structure, with the potential for overpowered armor and weapons, there can be other trade-offs, such as unique enchantments, items, or potions that can take their place, with the bottom line being that one structure should not give you everything. Okay, so we walk in there, got 1 diamond, like half durability, we walk out, pretty much almost maxed out, and I have a set of netherite armor. Like, I'm pretty happy with that, and I think I'm pretty happy to move on to the nether. So let's do that now. Okay, we got like a piglin outpost. Okay, I think this is another repurposed structure. I could easily get dropped by like an ordinary piglin brute. It's very easy to get dropped. I will admit that right off the bat, there were not a lot of interesting structures, mainly because most of them were from repurposed structures, which we've already seen so many times before. But I did find a ship, and that was pretty interesting. Whoa, wait, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, do I hit these? Of course I do. Oh, easy. Yep. Okay, that would have been nice to have fire res. Alright. Whoa! Yo! Wait. Cursor binding, cursor vanishing. Fire prot 4, feather falling 4, soul speed 3. That is not worth it. That is not worth it. What is that? Some ruins down there. That looks new. And just when I thought all hope was lost, I managed to spot something. Whoa! Whoa! Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Why are there 15 ghast here? But, whoa, ancient city. Wait, no, not ancient city. Nether city? That's crazy, there's just a nether portal. A massive one too. I mean, even though this is still just a reskinned books. Oh, binding and vanishing. No. Doesn't look like there's anything else here. So no. No way. With the nether out of the way, all that was left was to find the Illager Manor. And luckily, I'd spawned in the direction of the manor. But I'm not going to bore you with all the travel stuff, so there we are. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, there's more. This is massive, bro. Okay, I did it. It was so sloppy, but I did it. Illager's Bane? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Okay, despite my confusion, I think this is still a good idea, to have unique enchantments, dedicated to certain structures that you may be hard to find and may be worth it to look for, and then therefore encourage some sort of exploration. Although something really specific such as Illager's Bane, which I think is just extra damage against Illagers, yeah, I don't know. However, there are more structures from this mod, and plenty of other enchantments as well. There's more! Why are there more? Where did you come from? What? Yo! And so after clearing out the entire Illager Manor, I felt confident enough to make a conclusive statement on whether Minecraft should add more structures. I don't know, I didn't really do the end dimension. I feel like that just needs a whole nother update in and of itself. But, I mean, overall, Nether, so much potential. You can see there's so many different things you could do. Hopefully you can see there's a lot of thought behind a lot of how structures are made, generated, and the loop behind all of them. All of that interacting with their immersion with the world. From the bridges making the currently very naturally generating rivers and streams and valleys seem a bit more impacted, especially with how we know that other creatures exist, villagers, pillagers, illagers, all the sort. And even with the ruined towns as well, you have ruined towns and you have villages, you have the past and you have the present. It sort of demonstrates how this world has lived for a while. It creates a bit of a story. So yeah, Mojang probably should have more structures, but don't make them too insane and make them have a unique identity. That's pretty much it. Okay, bye.